Hey everybody, this is Don Edwards, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about lubricating your AR-15. But first, let's talk about cleaning it and lubing it and why you need it. Okay, so these things, if you think about it, it's like a piston in a truck or a car, and it gets really hot and there's lots of carbon blowing in there. So think about the type of oil that you use. If you're using some of these really thin Teflon or silicone based lubricants that are more designed for rust protection on the outside, it's going to burn off, blow away, and not going to last you very long. So you want to use an oil that's made for rifles. There's a lot of oils out there that are made for AR-15s. Look at some of those. Okay. Once again, these things, you can clean it, but if you don't put lubrication on it, it's not going to run very well for you. You'll get about one magazine worth of ammo out of it, and it's going to start getting sluggish and loaded with carbon. You can leave it dirty, and as long as you keep it wet with lube, good quality lube, it can run forever as long as you keep it lubed up. So let's talk about how I lube one of these rifles when I'm out in the field at the range or whatever, and they start to go down, they start to choke up. I have a student that needs a little bit of oil on their rifle. We pull off to the side. We'll do this little trick right here, and it'll get it right back in the game. So first of all, we put the bolt forward, and we take these two small holes that are in the side of the bolt carrier, and we'll just put a drop or two right inside these holes, right? Then I'll hold over here, and I'll just take my thumb and pull back on the charging handle slightly enough to expose the locking lugs, and I'll put a couple drops here on these locking lugs. Turn it over this way, do the same thing with my thumb, hold it open, put a couple drops on the locking lugs, put a couple drops on the bottom shiny friction surface of the bolt carrier itself. And then one last thing is, if I lock this bolt to the rear and leave the charging handle open and put a couple drops right there and kind of smear it around, that will keep this charging handle nice and slick too. And then last thing, I want to work it back and forth, and that right there is about all you need to do to take a sluggish rifle that's on the range, and it'll be back in the game in no time. Careful how much you put on there, because if you over lube it, that stuff will fly up in your face. You're not hurting anything, but you can get it all over your glasses at first, and after a couple trigger pulls, it's done. But do that, and your guns will run fine.